What's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted. Listen, it is Tuesday night. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers of today and yesterday. And guess what? This night is no different. You know why? Because I have the Super Mex, baby. I have the Super Mex in the building. He is former TNA Tag Team Champion. He's going to be on a big event on Saturday, February 19th. My guy Matt Jarrett is promoting an event. World Pro Wrestling is the organization, the company that he's promoting for, and they have a big event on the 19th of February called the All-Star Extravaganza. It is at the Cheltenham Town Hall in the UK, I believe it is. Go to World Pro Wrestling on Facebook. Once again, that's World Pro Wrestling on Facebook. You will get all the information there. And my guy, he's been on my Pancakes and Power Slam show before. It's interesting. This guy, it's funny because very nice guy. And he really went to bat for me. He really supported me in my show, and Pancakes and Power Slam show. When he agreed to come on, he had a dinner date with this girl, and he literally, when we were live on the show, we were live doing a Q&A at like almost midnight in my time, Eastern time. I think at the time he was in Texas, which is an hour before me. And so it was like almost midnight, his time, 11:30, probably 11:15. And I think it was probably after midnight by that time. And he was just, hey, I'm at this restaurant and we're just having fun. And he took time away from his date to come on my show. And so this was a few years ago. And I'm like, you know what, man, there's certain things that stick with me that I'll never forget. And I've interviewed over 300 wrestlers, and I think I'm at 16 or 17 WWE Hall of Famers now for Sports Illustrated and Fox Sports, the sites that I've written for before. And just a lot of people I've dealt with in the industry. And there's certain people that stick out. And this person spending his time to take away from his date to come on my show and do a Q&A. I will never forget that, man. So thank you once again, Shawn Hernandez, for coming on the show. How are you tonight, my man?
What's going on, Chris? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Great to have you again. Awesome. So what are you up to nowadays, man?
I'm just chilling, man.
Yeah.
Wrestling. Helping my dad. He has a big vineyard here in Texas, in East Texas, Palestine. Texas Vineyard and Smokehouse, the best
Nice.
sangria in all of East Texas.
Wow.
Man, he's just killing it. I mean, he's had the building there and his establishment since 2008,
Okay.
and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. He's doing these wine festivals, and I'm feeling bad because this guy's, in a couple of weeks he's going to be 82. He's doing this all by himself.
Wow.
He's
Wow. That's
he's
dedication.
he's a 30-year Green Beret. After that, he taught 15 years of self-defense for the Houston Police Department. So, he has the fortitude to do things, but I mean, he doesn't realize that he's 82 sometimes. So,
Yeah.
I'm there to help, man.
Yeah.
Free
Time to enjoy the
sangria
fruit.
doesn't help.
Yeah, time to enjoy the fruit of your labor.
Most
So,
definitely.
yeah, cool. All right, my man, you ready to dive into these questions?
Whatever you got, sir. Let's go.
Awesome, man. Let's start with Guillermo. He's asking, how was working with LAX? How was working with Conan, in your opinion, on Santana and Ortiz as members of the group?
LAX was my big break. I was doing Mexico. I was doing WB tryout matches, and I was going to Japan and just trying to find my footing to where I was going. And LAX was having problems at the time because the original group was Conan, Apollo from Puerto Rico, and Homicide, and there were some issues with Apollo, so they needed a stereotypical Latino, big Latino. So there's not, at the time, there wasn't a lot of us. So, and that's how I got the call. And all the parts fit together. We all caught lightning in a bottle. I mean, Conan with his great mic work and Homicide with his ring generalship. He's a legend, whether in the East Coast, whether Ring of Honor, everywhere. He's a legend as far as putting matches together. And then, man, I was just happy to have a contract, so I was doing whatever I could.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you want me to do a dive and everybody move? Cool. You want me to jump off this? I'll do it. Whatever. I still get paid, right?
Yeah.
I was a big kid in the candy store at the time, man.
That's a perfect segue to when I wanted to piggyback off of that. What wrestlers inspired you? Because you have a really cool style of wrestling. For someone as big and beefy as you are, you have a very agile style of wrestling, of just diving out the ring, diving from the ropes, and skinning the cat and stuff like that. Who are some of your biggest inspirations?
There's two coming right to me. Mike Awesome from ECW and FMW, and
Nice.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Those guys were the biggest guys that you could see, and had the lightest feet you ever seen in your life. I remember being as a kid watching Bam Bam Bigelow doing cartwheels.
Yeah.
I was just mesmerized. Here's this 400-pound man doing cartwheels. This man jumping off the top rope, doing things like that. It's like first time I saw Vader do a moonsault, I was my mouth dropped.
Yeah, those are some big ones. I was a huge fan of Bam Bam Bigelow. Just so underrated in the WWE. I was still to this day. I'm super surprised that he never won a WWE title of any sort, and that's just crazy to me. He had an amazing diving headbutt. Just super agile in the ring. I was a big Bam Bam Bigelow fan, and if I'm not mistaken, he's still not in the WWE Hall of Fame. If I'm not,
that's weird because I mean, he was over as a heel and face. I mean, you could have made him do anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guillermo's also asking. Guillermo's also asking your opinion on Mickie James appearing in the Royal Rumble as Impact Knockouts champion, and also bringing her belt with her, and also coming out to Hardcore Country, which was a bit surprising.
Oh, that's great for her. I mean, when when you can write your own tickets, different things, that's, to me, that's beyond the forbidden door thing. She got to come back with her belt, with her own music, dude. That's everyone's dream. I mean, I've done that on the indies, with competing different indies, but no one's ever did it on the big stage. I mean, mad props to her, and I promise you, every single person that's been on TV wishes they had that spot.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, nothing but love. But that's we're we're all a tad bit envious. So very awesome for her, man.
How was because you're still wrestling at Impact? How was just the backstage feel altogether? Because I know that she cut a promo with all the females around the ring and things like that. She was just really prepping and just really cutting, having some heartfelt words. How was the atmosphere on the Impact locker room, knowing that she would represent the company in the Royal Rumble?
Same thing. I mean, one speechless because it's everyone, hey, we work with the AEW, hey, we work with Ring of Honor, yeah. But everyone knows. I don't care what you say, anyone says. It's WWE, and everybody else.
Yeah,
y'all fight for number 2.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says. You can say this and that, whatever. It's $1 billion industry, not a tax write-off, not given to you because your dad owns the Jaguars, or not because your dad owns Panda Energy or whatever it is. This guy made that product, and as much as people want to bash WWE, I don't even like WWE, but I mean, you have to give mad props. That's number one. That's the top of the mountain.
Yeah. I agree. From a business standpoint, much as the product is much to be desired and heavily criticized, I mean, you gotta respect the business side of it. I mean, they're making more money than they ever have with lower ratings than they ever have. So somehow something's working here financially. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron is asking, what are your favorite memories of teaming and feuding with Matt Morgan? We're a pretty cool team.
It was awkward because here's this big giant and we're both power guys, and they want us to be baby faces. So somebody got to sell. And unfortunately, it was I guess he was, at the time, he was a better seller than me, so he had to sell. So it was very awkward because you have a 7-foot guy selling for the 6'2" guy to come and make a hot tag. But I mean, when we were allowed to do big man, little man matches, it was awesome. I mean, the dynamic was very awkward, and I think the problem was, I know the problem was, we were both Cornette guys. Because Cornette, it was our agents. Cornette got into the office. So what did we do with these 2 guys? We already pushed them to almost the main event. What do we do? Let's just put them in a tag and see how it works. So it was kind of a throwaway, but I mean, we made the best of it.
Yeah, I did. What was the idea, or who came up with the idea of splitting y'all up?
That was because the Bischoff regime and Hulk Hogan came, and I saw the writing on the wall. I said, man, they're not going to keep a lot of TNA guys fighting for that main event. They're going to bring in their own guys, their own, ex-WB guys or whatever. So that's when I asked the company if I could do a talent exchange with AAA, and that's when I went there. So we did an injury angle, and I left for 9 months, and I was in AAA.
Yeah, that was a good business call for you, for sure.
Money wise, because you're getting paid for 2 different companies.
Yeah, there you go. Good, yeah, that's a good business. Donna's asking, who would you like to have a match with in the future? And I'll add to that you've never wrestled before.
Oh, man. I'm speechless now because I've had an opportunity in Japan and Mexico, and with TNA, I've got to wrestle just about anybody I wanted to. So I mean,
let me put a nice little spin to it. If you had a match at WrestleMania from someone currently in the WWE, who would it be?
I don't. Oh man, you got me because I didn't watch
some big man from WWE. So Drew McIntyre. How about Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, Drew's an awesome dude. When he was in TNA and
go.
I was there, he's an awesome dude. Great worker.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Drew's actually a friend of mine. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, I agree. Do you see yourself branching out to other companies? Don is asking.
Man, I'm worried about making my brand with the vineyard and the winery and the Supermex Sangria. That's where my money's at. That's where I'm basing it. If I can't wrestle different places where I can get the exposure to go to that, I'll stay at home.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I'll stay at home. I mean, I'm good. I'm at the point in my life I've made my money. How many more times can I be a tag champion somewhere? I mean, you'd be like the 87-time tag. Who cares? It's time to branch off because Father Time always wins. This is a young man's sport, no matter what anyone says. I don't want to be, say, 55, 60, still wrestling.
So you plan on retiring before what, 55, 50?
I would say the next 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Okay, retiring in the next 2 or 3 years, and hey, taking care of business, taking care of your family business, man. Much respect to you for that, for sure. Roy's asking, who would be part of your dream members of the group LAX?
Homicide, he's like a brother to me, man. So, that would be it. And then, if we could have some cameos from like Hector Guerrero and Savio Vega, guys like that. Savio's the man. Savio's tremendously underrated. And the dynamic he brings, I would love to have him, guest cameo or maybe a mentor or OG. It would be awesome dynamic.
Nice. Let's see. We have any deleted scenes that didn't make the new Wrestle House?
Brother, that thing was shot in 2 days.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Mad props to Jimmy Jacobs, and Robert Evans. I don't know how they did it, but the first day we did nothing but matches. And then, as you saw, the matches were all cut up anyway. And there's some highlights. But that last day, man, it was, I think, maybe a 16 or 17-hour day.
Wow.
And I don't know how they do it, but you have to give it up to Robert Evans because that guy edit, splice, sitting in one-liners and making it magic. It was for that to be done in 2 days. I think was probably the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Nice. What did you enjoy working most for Carlos Colon? And would you ever become a trainer in Impact?
For Impact, I have a mad respect because they're the first person that took a chance on me to give me a long-term contract. But no, I'm good. I'm focused on the vineyard. I'm good with that. Carlos Colon was awesome with me. I got to wrestle there a couple of times in 2014 and 15, and paid cash. And I had a great time and had nice matches. So no complaints at all.
Nice. Guillermo's asking, how's it working with Moose? In your opinion on Moose's reign as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion?
That wasn't my call. That's TNA will never be the same. You can use TNA as many versions if you want, but to me, TNA died in about 2016. Anything that after that is like TNA Junior or it's not even the same product, not the same mindset, not the same creative, nothing. So Moose, good worker. I think can elevate his game up to a higher level. But as far as the TNA stuff, no, man. That's apples and oranges from TNA to Impact.
Who's in charge of like the creative in TNA now?
Jimmy Jacobs and Robert Evans.
Okay, interesting. And D'Lo's doing a lot of production stuff there now.
No, that's Mr. Talent Relations, bro.
Yeah, D'Lo, yeah, okay.
So if you get a call from him, it's a 50-50. What's good?
Yeah, because he was announcing with Matt Stryker for a second, and now I like the announce team now with Tom Hannigan and Matt Renwalt, formerly. Oh gosh, yeah, I forgot his WWE name. He was with someone from the
Drama King.
Yeah, drama. Yeah. But I forgot his WWE name. He was with Rusev or Miro Rusev, and I forgot his name. Yeah. So someone's gonna say here on the chat. That's gonna bug me though. But yeah, I like them as a team, announcing team too. What's your thoughts on Matt Stryker as English, Aiden English? Thank you, Aiden English. So what was your thoughts on Matt Stryker being on the announcement team, and it was a little bit of a surprise that he got let go.
Well, I know Matt from Lucha Underground, and I like him. I think he adds a lot to commentary. I think he toes the line. He makes sure the person who's doing color commentary gets reeled in, especially when he was with Vampiro and Lucha Underground. I like his style. He makes sure he's very educated. He has all his notes from each wrestler. Make sure he adds a little bit of history from each match and each wrestler. So in case this is your first time watching, you know something about the guy you're watching. So I mean, I think Matt is very well versed being a commentator, and I was shocked that he was let go or he was not there or what happened. I don't know what's going on, but he's no longer there.
Yeah, it is. It was shocking. Philip is asking, any memories of working with AJ Styles in TNA wrestling?
Man, that's crazy. That's besides Kurt Angle and Sting, that's the best guys I've been in a ring with.
Nice. Yeah.
AJ was awesome. Doing tag matches. I was very privileged one time to do a singles match with Ric Flair as my manager in TNA, which was awesome. And I can't say nothing but great things about AJ. He's a great worker and deserves everything coming to him.
Yeah. Ric Flair in TNA. How was it with Flair in TNA? How did he feel in TNA during his short stint there?
Believe it or not, people loved him.
Okay. All right.
And he did, it was, Ric Flair of all the stories you've heard. Real quick, I'll tell the abbreviated PG version of the story. It's nothing bad at all. Okay. We had a house show in West Virginia, and he showed up, and it was high school or something like this, and he left.
Why did he leave?
He didn't feel like going because there was only like 500 people there. Then he goes, I'll be at the Marriott. I go, which Marriott? We're in West Virginia. I live in Texas. I don't know anything about this. Well, you'll know when you see it. I go, oh my God. I'll see you for dinner. I go, oh my gosh. So
hey, limousine ride, just flying, man.
It gets worse.
Oh, so please share.
I showed up and I sat in the back because this place was crowded because West Virginia and Ric Flair's there. And he's sitting with his son Reed at the time. And all of a sudden he stands up and starts looking around. And I'll have my head down because I'm not even dealing with this. Hey, Hernandez, get over here. So I go over there. He moves Reed over. Hey, Reed, the other way. You got to let Hernandez sit right next to me. And starts putting over words in AAA to Reed because I guess he's trying to get me more focused on wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to get my magic moment right there. I said, Mr. Flair, may I buy you a drink, please? And then he went straight to Ric Flair mode. He looked at me and goes, son, you buy Ric Flair a drink, you buy the whole bar a drink. and I'm thinking, I thought he was screwing with me, right? So I said, no, Rick, just let me buy you a drink, man. He goes, like I said, if you buy Ric Flair a drink, you gotta buy the whole bar a drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I look around, there's probably about 1,500 people in this bar. There's no way I'm going to have to call my wife and tell her I'll fix to drop at least $8,000.
Yeah. Like, what is this coming from our account? What's going on here?
So I looked at him and go, Rick, I'm sorry, I can't buy you a drink.
Not tonight. Not tonight, Nature Boy. No, not tonight.
No, not.
Yeah. That's Ric Flair working the gimmick, ladies and gentlemen. It's only Ric Flair can. Rizu is asking, what was it like working with Sting?
What do you think it was like, man? This guy's the man. It was like having wrestling one-on-one with Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair. I'm one-on-one right across the ring from Sting. He's doing this little Sting yell. And, 15-year-old Shawn wants an autograph.
Yeah, right.
And I got to do a 10-minute match with him and try to beat him up.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, because I think I'm interested in your thoughts on this, as far as just like someone like you who loves the business, who loved the business way before you started working for the business.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is for wrestlers? And I know there's some people who hit pay dirt without really knowing too much about the business before entering in. But how important is it to you for wrestlers entering in and training to know and to have a love for the business growing up? And as far as just growing up in the business, how important is it for people to really love the business?
For myself, it's, you have to love it, know the history, and respect it, because if it wasn't for these guys, you wouldn't have a job.
Good point.
I'm not trying to be rude right now. It's 2022 is all inclusive. That everyone in the game, everyone can play. It wasn't like that when I started. It wasn't like that when they started. So, I mean, you have to, especially for the Hispanic guys, all the minorities that are in pro wrestling. If you don't know the histories of the guys that are your nationality or your heritage, you're doing yourself a great disservice, because what they had to endure just to get in the game.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I like it.
That's a short man version.
Yeah, I like it. Because it gives you a better appreciation of your spot in the business as well. So good stuff, man. There was another there's another question somewhere, but we can wrap up. Again, man, let's just know about like things that you want to promote, things before we get back to the February 19th show. I mean, you have any like Twitter that you want to promote for your dad's company or anything like that? This Sportskeeda has over 3 million followers on around our social media. So have at it, man.
Well, my dad's old school right now, so we're gonna talk him into social media.
There you go.
He's, Texas Vineyard Smokehouse in Palestine, Texas. I promise, he's one of those guys that doesn't realize that social media can amplify your product 100 times. Because he has people coming from Florida, Alabama, just to stop by his winery, because his sangria is that good. I mean, it wins awards in the state. He goes to all these wine festivals and he's selling out of cases of this stuff. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you ever get a chance to go to East Texas, guys, Palestine, Texas, and Anderson County, Texas, Vineyard or Smokehouse is the place to go.
Nice. And once again, that's February 19th. It's going to be in UK, right?
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
I saw you having a little bit, having a little trouble pronouncing it. Says Cheltenham. You have to say
Cheltenham. Thank you.
Yeah, close together.
Thank you. Cheltenham.
Yeah, otherwise they get mad. So it's Cheltenham, real quick. Yeah.
the Cheltenham Hall in the UK. There you go. There's my accent. Good stuff. Cheltenham Hall.
There it is.
Be sure to go February 19th in the UK. All right. This guy's my man right here, Shawn Hernandez. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. This is Unscripted, February 19th, Cheltenham Hall in the UK. World Pro Wrestling. Go follow them on Facebook to get more information. Have a good night, everybody. So long.